Hello everyone and welcome back to the Do Digital YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the most common misconceptions that I hear in relation to online course creation. So you guys might have noticed that more recently I've been creating a lot of videos about creating courses for Skillshare because I've been earning a decent amount of money each month, and it's really motivated me to share more of that journey with you guys online. So in that spirit of learning, I'm actually going to pop a poll on screen now so that you guys can vote for what video you want to see next in the series. So just pop the letter down below in the comments so that I know what video is going to add the most value in your lives. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Megs and every week I release tech tutorials helping you do digital better. Consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the like button. It helps my channel so much. So let's get into the top 8 misconceptions that I hear all the time about online course creation. So the first misconception I hear so much, and that is, but why would someone pay for my course when you can learn XYZ for free? So I really do liken this to a microwave meal because I think to myself, but you can cook, why would you buy a microwave meal? It's all about convenience and making the most of what very little time you have available. So people are busy, and a lot of the free content and courses out there, they are heavily sales driven because maybe they're a lead magnet of some kind. So certainly you can watch the content for free, but almost always there'll be some sort of ulterior motive. Often you'll find that YouTubers will extend their videos to like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's just fluff and you feel like you're not learning anything, and obviously that isn't a great user experience. So the other thing obviously with YouTube is that there are a lot of paid ads, and so you're going to avoid the person watching those altogether. On that note, I'm going to roll an ad so you can see just how disruptive it really is. So of course, yes, you can get your content for free online, but if you value your time and you want to be taught by someone who maybe has a lot more experience and has put the time in packaging it in a really beautiful way, then you might consider rather buying the course, and therefore people can earn a living doing this kind of course sales stuff. Alright, the second misconception that I hear most commonly is I can't teach that, there's too much competition. And I know this because I was the first one to say, social media marketing, Meg, really? That's like the least original concept you can possibly think of. But what is proven where there is a lot of competition is obviously there's a market interest. So you need to find something that there is competition in, because that means that people are looking for that kind of content. So if you found a topic where there was no other courses that anyone else was teaching, I think you might want to be a little bit more suspicious about that. So the third misconception that I hear very often is I do not have enough time. So this is one of my favorite ones, because if you think of any traditional business model, you are essentially trading time for money. So whether you're selling a service or a product, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, you're trading your time for money in some regard. If you, for example, have employees, you're actually trading their time in exchange for money. And so what typically happens when you scale a business is that yes, you will make more money, but you'll have more employees and have more overheads. So it makes it quite tricky to kind of get that balance right. And where I am so passionate about online courses is because you are totally uncoupling time from money. So you're creating something once, that's the beauty of a digital product, and you're selling it multiple times without logistics, shipping, having to hold stock, anything that you may have to consider in other realms. And that's really what's going to make you money in the long term and allow you to scale your business. So even if you are not an educational business, it may be worth offering certain things as an online course because it helps you to drive down some of the overheads like staff. So if I could give you an example, if for example you sell a software that's totally unrelated to education, so let's say something like social media scheduling software, like the best example that I can think of is actually Hootsuite. So even though they sell a software, they have an academy component, it's acting as a lead generation / lead magnet for their business, and then it's also helping to reduce the amount of queries that come into customer service pipelines because people are actually able to self-resolve some of the challenges or queries that they have, because often it does come down to education. Furthermore, in the Hootsuite example, you're likely to have customers be retained for a lot longer because they have minimized frustration using the platform because maybe they've done some of your courses about how exactly to use it to its maximum potential. The argument of not having enough time is basically you negating the fact that actually you're going to spend this time once, carve out a couple of hours or weeks and then sell something infinitely, which will actually allow you in the long term to have more time to do things that are a little bit more heavy lifting in your business. And something that I love to say is you want to, as a business owner, be working on your business as opposed to in your business. And I think online course creation is something that can help you do that. Number 4 is I'm not an expert. So this is also a really interesting one because I believe, and actually it's been scientifically proven, that typically someone who's a great teacher is only 3 steps ahead of you in the process as opposed to 100. So if, for example, I had my PhD in digital marketing, would I be able to relate as well to people who are just getting started in the digital marketing sphere? No, probably not. Whereas because I have, yes, a certain set of criteria and qualifications that allow me to teach it, I also am not a guru and I would never claim to be. So I find it really fun when I learn a new skill or a new software to pass that knowledge on quite quickly because it's still very fresh in my mind and I know exactly what the FAQs I need to answer in that section are. Also bear in mind with online courses, you are paying for a result. So if someone can get you a result, it actually doesn't matter what their qualifications are or what their CV looks like. They're able to progress you from one point to another. So what a lot of people often kind of call this is information is less important and transformation is more important. So you want to give someone the right amount of information without overloading them to facilitate a transformation process as opposed to killing someone with analysis paralysis and just oodles and oodles of data. Number 5 is I don't know what to teach. And this is one of my favorite topics to talk about because honestly, people do not have the confidence that they should have in themselves. So you invariably have a job, someone pays you to do a skill, or you're self-employed, which means that you are at a certain level where actually you're able to employ yourself or employ other people, which I just think is incredible. So think about what is it that you do as your day job or as your side hustle, and how can you combine maybe your day job with your side hustle with something in which there's market interest and see where that takes you. And remember, you're trying to create what they call an MVC or minimum viable course. You're not trying to create hundreds and hundreds of hours of content. You just want to see, is this actually going to work? Because if it does work, then obviously you can spend a lot more time and energy on that specific course topic. On that exact note, number 6 is I want to create a perfect course. So this it comes from my own heart, the heart of a perfectionist, and it is a very, very difficult thing to let go of. But actually what you're trying to do is create something that is good, that provides value, and that's going to change someone's life. So because you're going to have a bunch of different people coming from a bunch of different backgrounds, there is no such thing as perfect when it comes to course creation. And there's a high likelihood that you're going to refilm the course at a later stage to add more and more resources on. So to spend a year creating your first course and then have it flop because you didn't do any kind of validation would be more of a travesty than actually putting out an MVP into the market after 2 months and saying, guys, I'm beta testing, love your feedback, and maybe don't even charge them for that first cohort. That's exactly what I did when I launched my Introduction to Social Media Marketing course. And then you start to build a database, you start to build conversations around your course, and yes, it wasn't perfect, but that was the whole point of releasing it into the wild and then implementing that beautiful feedback loop. Number 7 is I'm not good at technology. So this is also an interesting one because I think back in the day it was probably a more plausible argument. Now there's such a proliferation of online teaching platforms that make it so simple to get started. My favorite is SKILLSHARE. I've popped my link in the description box below. But what I love about SKILLSHARE is it encourages you to just create a 20 to 60 minute class and see if it's actually going to work. Whereas other competitive platforms like Udemy or maybe Teachable will typically encourage you to create longer courses, and therefore it's quite hard for a beginner to actually get going. And then once it's validated, of course, you can think of migrating it off a marketplace platform and onto something like Podia or Teachable or whatever the case may be. But ultimately, in the beginning stages, it's unlikely you want to be responsible for driving every single person to that website, and so it is often better to start on a marketplace. And number 8 is if I teach someone, they're never going to hire me. So this is probably the worst misconception of them all because it couldn't be further from the truth. What I spoke about earlier, which is that typical business models match time with money is you're wanting to decouple that. So yes, you can charge someone for 2 or 3 hours of your consultation time, but guess what? You can only do 3 to 4 consultations in a day. Whereas you could charge someone a much lower fee and then have way more people do the course. So actually it's a little bit counterintuitive, but you're actually going to be able to help way more people. And if you have less clients, that's probably a good thing because it means that you managed to decouple your time from money. Thank you guys so much for watching my misconceptions video. If you made it this far, please do like this video and subscribe. It helps me immensely. I would love to hear down below if there was a particular one that stood out for you out of the 8, one that you're like, yes, that is my stumbling block, because I think we can all help each other and really cultivate a community around online course creation. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video so that we can continue to do digital better.
I can help you out. I can help you out. I can help